Yo, welcome. This is Invest and Prosper. I'm your host Marcus, and today on the channel we're gonna go into like my story, them kind of ones, why the channel was created and all that. So, no further introduction. Let me just get straight to it. So, let me talk about my story. Yeah. So, man's been school, man's been college, man's been uni. You know what I mean? Done all of that, and what it is I always just knew like this thing, this life, this system that everybody else is doing isn't for me. And number two, I just never, I just didn't get it. You know what I mean? I've known from an early age because I've always seen my dad. Like my dad owned his own business. You get me? He had a restaurant and that called Silver Sands. You get me? And what he did was he was there all the time. I was there going there with him like after school and that, and he was just there all the time. You get me? Just doing that all the time, all the time, all the time. So all these other dons and all these other youths, like my school and that kids, they're going on holidays, they're going this, they're learning that, they're learning to ride bikes. You get me? I don't know how to ride a bike. I'll be honest with you, fam. I don't even like saying that to the camera, fam. The last time I said that, fam, the last time I told somebody that, I was crying, fam. So it's one of them ones. You get me? But man's just gonna come out with it. You get me? But you know what I mean? I've seen all these other youths having all these other experiences from and doing all these other things, yeah, and I'm there thinking to myself like, raw, like I wanna do that. I want flipping I want to be able to do what I want when I want. I don't want no job or no business or nothing holding me back from flipping thinking. I don't want to be held back from my children. I want to be able to teach them things, flipping grow them the way I want to grow them, so that hopefully they can be successful and live a nice life that they want to live. You know what I mean? And obviously my mum, she was working as well. She was working with him. Then she got her own business, and then she's just, you know what I mean. But obviously these businesses now, the way I see it, if I'm looking back, really and truly, from they could have leveraged their money to do bigger things. From the books that I'm reading, obviously I don't know the circumstances and them things there, but I reckon they could have made a way. You know what I mean? And recently we've had some problems with like um, like houses and stuff like that, when something like when family dies and the house gets thingy, and you know what I mean, all these things could have been avoided if certain things, if people had prepared for them. You know what I mean? When I'm looking back now, I know that's not really anything to do with me and I don't really know their situation, but what I'm saying is you should prepare for the things that can potentially come. You know what I mean? And if you I've been reading Cardone's book, fam, and it's such a great book. But if you prepare for such things in advance, they shouldn't happen. You know what I mean? And that's just what I think. Well, there will happen things. Unfortunately, you have ups and downs, and things will happen. But if you're working, you're gaining, you're gathering, you're bettering your life, everything, you commit to success. You make success your duty and responsibility and obligation. I got that out of Grant Cardone's book. If you do that, fam, you know what I mean, and you proper look after yourself and be paranoid. Well, not don't be paranoid, but listen to your gut feeling and do what it says. I feel like you can flip in. You know what I mean. You'll be more able to adapt to certain circumstances that arise. You know what I mean. I'm not gonna lie, blood flipping. Something's just happened recently. It was the insurance has cut me off. You get what I mean? And flipping, they've cut me off and I can't do anything about it, you know what I mean? But when I'm thinking about it now, I've just got to take responsibility for that and just move on, you know what I mean? And be in a situation now I know that, don't let that happen again, you know what I mean? I've just got to move forward from it. I'm not going to cry over it, I'm not going to be upset about it, I'm just going to move on, do what I need to do, get another insurance and just get straight back out there, you know what I mean? And bang my business out. It's just as simple as that, family, you know what I mean? Take responsibility and make sure that you've got, money is like a security, you get what I'm saying? If anything happens, yeah, you've got it there. If you're a millionaire and a little £1,000 problem comes up, it's not as bad. But if you're a person who's living paycheck to paycheck and a little problem comes up, it's a bit bad, you know what I mean? So it's one of them things there. But my story, yeah, so obviously what I'm saying is, man, seeing bare people doing things with their families, bare people doing this, bare people doing that, you know what I mean, and learning this and learning that. I didn't learn to swim till recently in the last few years, you know what I mean? Now I need to still learn to ride a bike, I mean, that's kind of embarrassing, me being a big 23-year-old you and can't ride a bike fam, I hate it, you know what I mean? And obviously when I used to go out with man them and that, and they used to be like, yo, rare, because but my ends is one of them ends where ends like a place, neighbourhood. My ends is like one of them places where people ride bikes, people ride quads, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie fam, it's kind of like, I never felt like I could say it, but I was always there like, nah, you know what fam, it's calm, I'll go on it another time fam, you know what I mean? Because I'm embarrassed fam, and you know what fam, if I'm not saying it to this camera now because I'm just being real, I'll probably go out there and I'll probably repeat the same thing, but if people see this they'll know why. But I was always there, or swimming or something like that, I shy away from it because I don't know how to do it properly, you know what I mean? And that were the problems fam, so I thought to myself, yo, how can I invest money if I earn money? And I started reading Rich Dad Poor Dad as well, I'll put a link in the description. And I thought to myself, how do I do what these people are doing? How do I become that successful? Have money working for me overnight and just gaining and gaining and gaining, where I don't have to be there and I can still mingle with people, because I don't really see nobody now. Everybody's full-time working in this rat race, you know what I mean? I've got a bit of freedom through my business and that, but everybody's flipping on this rat race thing, you know what I mean? And I don't want to be caught up in it. Like I want it. Like there's no, you can't escape it fam. You got to do what you got to do. But I don't want to be to the point where I barely see people and I'm not really having fun. I'm just coasting. You know what I mean? And it's one of them ones. So I went on to a journey, blood, of just like reading and watching and researching successful people, you know what I mean? So I've researched Warren Buffett, researched Bill Gates, I've researched Grant Cardone, Ty Lopez, and loads of, I know there's loads of other people as well, but I started researching everybody, you get me fam? Sorry for the thing, fly one in my eye. I started researching everybody, and then I just started learning things, and then I just seen, yo, I've been told a big lie. Like all my life I've been told a big lie, like I can start a business, I don't need to go out there and get a job, you know what I mean? And if I can develop income, I can leverage things, I can talk to people and learn to negotiate with people to get them to my way of thinking and persuade them and then get them to finance things. And you know what I mean? There's all these other things out there. Like I'm not the best at it, I don't know it all, but I'm still seeking that knowledge every single day I wake up from. I seek that knowledge. I'm trying to go to bed at that much better. My trainer, Paul Hunt, best person, big boy mentor. I owe much of my life to that guy. Yeah, he always used to say, when you come to training, just think you're this much better, you're this much better, you're this much better. And it's true fam, that's how you should approach life. Every morning you wake up fam, just think about being this much better, this much better, this much better, this much better. If you can go that much better, but you know what I mean, it don't always work out like that. But just try and keep bettering yourself every single day and just prepare yourself and learn this and learn that, because if something falls and you know something or you know someone, because network's a big part of things as well, then you can just, you know what I mean, and you can use this person for that and you can maneuver, man. So it's one of them ones. But why the channel was created was, I started being on this journey of studying success, you get what I'm saying, and when I started seeing people who were successful and seeing how they did things, I thought to myself, why don't everybody else know this? And I'm being selfish, not telling everybody else. So I thought, why not be altruistic and flipping just preach it out there, you get what I'm saying, and just tell other people. Because before I was just thinking, yo, I don't want people to become my competition, but now I'm thinking, yo, fuck it, a lot of you are going to procrastinate anyway, and I might as well leverage it, and I'm not going to be here forever, you know what I mean? I meant Marcus Aurelius' book, I'll put a link in the description. I've done a review on that, and he was just talking about one day you're going to die fam, you know what I mean? And I'd rather give out my content and tell people and probably better them and help them, and you know what I mean, build a big network through that, and that can, people might leverage out and help me as well, you know what I mean? And that's just what you got to do. Obscurity, you don't want obscurity fam, you want people to know who you are. So the aim of this channel is basically to I'm gonna read this because I'm starting to forget things. The aim of this channel is to help you through getting mentor. I'm gonna get mentors on the channel and talk to them. I'm gonna do reviews. I'm gonna talk about investing, what you can invest in. I'm gonna give you books that you can read, self-help, knowledge, and overall I'm just looking to provide value in any way I can in the terms of investing, you know what I mean, portfolio, passive, but definitely, yeah, if you want to know about them things, read Rich Dad Poor Dad and read many other books. I'm going to be sharing them with everybody because these are some cheap ways that you can get mentors if you can't afford to get a big mentor on your platform, you know what I mean. And it's just one of them ways, you know what I mean? That's just what I'm looking to do. I'm just looking to spread that knowledge. But yeah, so one other thing that I read, I can't remember which book I read this or if it were a person who told me this, but he said you have to ask people, I think it was either 7 or 5 times, why they want something. So one of the questions was, I did this with myself, and what I said was, why do I want to be successful and have a lot of cash? And I answered it, so no one has to provide for me. Because I don't want nobody to help. I do want people to help me, but I don't want to depend on people. That's what I don't want. I want to be, because obviously the story that I shared with you before about growing up and stuff like that and seeing everybody else doing things and me not doing things, it made me envious. I'm not going to lie, I was jealous. And I didn't want to hear people's stories about going here and there. I've only just been to Skeggy fam. Every other youth's been to Skeggy fam. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to flip in. I want to control that for myself. I want to control that for my youths when they're born. You know what I mean? That's my biggest thing. So why don't I want people to provide for me? That were another question. And I put to myself, because it should be my responsibility. You know what I mean? I should be responsible for everything that happens in my life. If I'm not doing well right now, it's because of some dumb moves that I've been making, fam. You know what I mean? And I've made a lot of dumb moves. I've ended along with a lot of people when I shouldn't have. I should have been focused on my own mission, you know what I mean? But now I'm doubling down on it, and anybody who's not on it just gets fucked off, you know what I mean? It's just as simple as that. And but another question was, why should it be my responsibility? And I put to this, because I should be able to control my own life. I want that control. I want it to be, when I want to go somewhere, I can go there. If I want to go this place, I can go there. I want that financial freedom. I want that security. I want that lifestyle design that I want. You know what I mean? I don't want nobody to tell me what to do, to tell me that they're firing me. I don't want nobody to tell me that they're kicking me out of this house. I want all them responsibilities, and I want them for myself so that I can control it myself. I want to be in full control. And I put, why should I be in control of my own life? And I put to this, because I want to choose my own future, do what I want, when I want, where I want. You know what I mean? I want to be able to do that. I don't want nobody to decide that for me. I want to decide it for myself, which I definitely can do in this world. And reading the books that I've read and discovering the things that I discovered, fam, I can definitely do that, fam. If I don't, it's the dumb decisions that I make, and I've made a lot of dumb decisions, fam. And I've made a lot over the past few months earlier this year, but now I'm doubling down, and I'm gonna stick on it, man. I'm gonna stick on it. You're gonna see me a lot more, and I'm gonna stay on my goals, and I'm just gonna keep delivering value. I want you to do this with yourself as well. So the next question was, why do I want to control my own future, do what I want, when I want, where I want? And the answer to this was, because I've never had control like that before. Before, I had to live within my means and survive instead of thrive. Scarcity instead of abundance all my life, and that's true. And I think there's a quote that says, the massive men lead quiet lives of desperation, by Faru or something like that. If I'm saying his name wrong, I'm sorry. But yeah, that quote there is so true. I think that people do that all the time. We don't buy the clothes that we want because simply we can't afford it, so we wear what's not really our thing. We go out with women that are not really the women that we want, and we just custom, and everybody, the social norm just brings us right back down and tells us to not really go after our goals. We don't eat the food that we want because simply we can't afford it. We don't go on holidays. We'd go on more holidays if we could, but we simply don't, because we don't treat our lives like it's an obligation to be successful. We just coast, you know what I mean? And I don't want to do that. I'm done with that, and I want you to be done with that as well. So why have you never had control like that before, and had to live within your means instead of thrive, scarcity instead of abundance all my life? So I put to this, and I had to be real, fam. You can't do this and not be real with yourself. I mean, you'll probably see the same thing as well. I put poor life decisions, poor mentors, ignorance, poor friendships and family circle, lack of courage and confidence and certainty, bad start-up work ethic and not having help, wasting time on wrong things, and now spending on liabilities instead of assets. And bloody, if you look at your life, I guarantee you're going to find the same things. So with that being said there, flip that, and when you flip that now, you can see what you need to do in order to get it. Poor life decisions, better life decisions. You know what I'm saying? Poor mentors, rich mentors, you know what I mean? Just flip it and you can straight away see what the problem was. So I asked myself again, why did I have the above? I couldn't be asked to write it, I'm lazy, I'm sorry. And I put, because of my environment, because of the people that I was surrounding myself with, that's why I had what I had. You know what I'm saying? If you're in a rich environment, think about this. If you're surrounded by Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, and all them people there, fam, I don't care who you are, fam. You're gonna be pushed to do something, fam. You're gonna feel worthless, and you're gonna get cropped out of the picture. And you know you want to be around them people because they're doing nice stuff. You know what I mean? They're doing probably the stuff that you want to do. They're having the lifestyle that they want to. You know what I mean? They're helping the people that they want to help, and they've got it set, you know what I mean? Not set, they obviously they have to look after their business, but they've got a better chance of surviving than you have. So I asked the last one was why? Because of my environment. And it could simply come down to because this is where my parents chose to grow me up, you know what I mean? And that's not their fault. Well, it depends again. If I can't go any further than that, but if they wanted to, it'd be like, you know what I mean, their life decisions and their mentors, and you know what I mean. You can probably see the same thing there. So it's one of them things. But now I'm conscious to all this shit, and that's the first step. You have to admit that you fucked up. You know what I mean? You fucked up. You probably wasted time. You've been chilling with dumb people. You've done all this bullshit. You know what I mean? But you have to be real with yourself and say, yo, I've done all that shit, but now I'm looking to change it all around. And I'm looking to commit to success. I'm looking to do the things. If people don't like what I'm doing, I'm staying on my purpose. They can get cropped out of the picture, and this is what I have to do to move forward, you know what I mean? And I think when you're ready to do that, and when you admit to yourself, yo, you made poor life decisions and them things there, because it hit me, fam, it hits me, and it makes me feel kind of a bit depressed, but when you do that, fam, and you know now, you can align your compass and you can move forward, you know what I mean? That's me, I'm Marcus, your host of Invest and Prosper. I'll be here for a long time, yo, and I'm just looking to spread a message, so boom, bang, we're out.